Welcome to B2B Chronicles. I am Rakesh Gupta, your host for this show. Today, I have a question for you. You want to achieve higher success, isn't it? What is stopping you? What are the barriers? What are the challenges? And I pause here so that you can reflect on this. Okay. Is it the economy? Is it your education? Is it your circumstances where you were brought up? Parents? And if not all these things, must be your boss. Think about it. As you reflect on it, let me answer this. It's you. Very blunt. As we reflect more on it, I would like you to like, share, subscribe this video and podcast before we delve deeper into it. Let us think about it. We are always told to work hard, aim high, and chase goals. But has anybody told you, are these the right goals for you? PeterDrucker, the father of modern management, he did a research. He went to all these successful people and all kind of leaders, and he asked, what are your strengths? And when he evaluated, he figured out that that's what not really their strengths were. Surprising, right? Many a times people don't take time to reflect upon what their true strengths are. And Peter Drucker talks a lot about strengths, weaknesses, and values. And this episode is all about self discovery. So it's not just climbing the corporate ladder, but it's all about whether we deliver results and live a meaningful life. So, this path of self discovery will help you not just to have career growth, but also can have a huge impact on your life. So, let's buckle up and get started as we talk about some real life examples of how some of these people really lived into it. Let me walk you through a couple of examples. First one, Sundar Pichai. He joined Google, and then at that time, Google was developing all these different kind of search related solutions. But he figured out that is not what excited him. He was very good at developing products and products which has lot of user interface. So, knowing his strengths, he didn't work into something very exciting assignment at that time, which other people kind of felt shouldn't be doing. He worked on developing Chrome. At that time, that was not the biggest thing. You remember, Microsoft had a much better web browser at that time. He worked on Chrome, and then he created a huge legacy on that product. What's the lesson for us? The key lesson that we can derive is he understood what he was good at. He didn't think what is the largest short term opportunity that is there in front of him. He understood what excited him, and then he applied those. So he didn't become CEO on day one. He used his strength and made a difference by doing what he liked. Let me take you through another example. Let's talk of Sandy Sandberg. Sherryberg, now CEO of Meta, she started her career with McKinsey. Think about it. It's a dream job for many of us, McKinsey. But she realized that that is what not excited her. Analyzing spreadsheets was not her thing. Consulting was not her thing. She wanted to make a career into something that has a huge impact on people, and she wanted to take a leadership position. Then she changed her job, she worked with the government, and then Google, and then finally Meta, where through her leadership, she has created this complete change of what Meta is offering. So don't just keep doing things which you somehow get into. You have to reflect on what drains you, what excites you, and act on it. By acting on that, she became a huge success and she delivered some meaningful results. I highly recommend that you read this article from Harvard Business Review, HBR, by Peter Drucker, Managing Oneself. Peter Drucker talks about one should know what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. How do you learn? Each person learn in a very unique way. Some people learn by reading, some people by writing, some people by speaking, some people by explaining. Knowing yourself, your values, strength, weaknesses, how do you learn what your values are? And then you choose your career or work or even your personal life in a way that all these things are aligned, so that you really not only become successful in your career but also have a more meaningful life. He further says that you build on your strengths. Most of the time, we are wasting time on improving our weaknesses. He says, don't spend your energies on your weaknesses, because that's not what gets you results. What gets you results is build on your strengths. On your weaknesses, you have to be mindful. Those your weaknesses are, and then you have to work with other people who are actually have strengths on those weaknesses, and you have to collaborate with them to overcome those weaknesses. And then whatever your work, job, or even your personal life aspirations are, the values has to be aligned. Your organization value and your values, if they are in conflict, very difficult time for you. So if you are mindful about these three or four things, you can really have a great time. So we thought about it. Now this is the mantra, but how do we really implement it? Let me walk you through that as well. I'll give you four very easy steps towards your path of self awareness. First one, reflect. Every month you think about what are the tasks that gives you energy, what are the conversations that gives you energy, and which one drains your energy. As engineers, we are always trying to do something, we are busy in our life. Take at least once in a month 1 or 2 hours for yourself. Reflect. If you think more about it, you will understand that which are the tasks which really excites you, and that's where you will find that what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and which values are in conflict with what you are doing today. Second one, seek feedback. As Peter Drucker already investigated, most of the time you feel that that is your strength, but in reality it may not be. So you have to talk to your mentor, your boss, your friends, your colleagues, your peers. You have to ask people. And I am telling you, and as I have been, you will be amazed with what you discover through these conversations about yourself. Third one, experiment early. I understand many times we have to get a job to start something, because we may not get the ideal job, what we want. We have to start with something, you have to start learning. But then every organization, you'll find that you can experiment little bit here and there. You might have joined as application engineer, but you enjoy more sales. You might have joined as a project engineer, but you like operations much better. So if you experiment little bit here and there in your early career, you will figure out that you can actually do something else which excites you, or doesn't drain your energy. So don't get stuck in the role that you have got. You have the freedom and the choice to experiment, and if you experiment early, that's the way to go. Here is the fourth and the last one: align with your values. What matters most to you? It is not somebody else's life you are living. If your values are not in sync with your organization's value or your personal life's value, it's going to be a uphill task for you. Take the time to understand what your values are, and you drive those values towards organizations which have similar value. If you have that alignment, I am sure that you are going to succeed in your life. So, we talked about these four different things which can give you a way to how to create that path to self awareness and discovery. To wrap up, here is what we want you to remember: self discovery is not a one time process, it's an ongoing process, right? So take some time today, this week, this month, to reflect upon: who am I? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? How do I learn? What takes my energy? What drains my energy? What gives me energy? What my values are? If you think about all these things, and as you think and reflect more on it, you will discover something amazing. Here's another episode for you, B2B Chronicles. Keep learning, keep shining. Thank you very much. Bye now.